we are really committed to doing the best job we can communicating with you about this delay and as we go through the next few months to launch and then after launch. So appreciate you being here, and then we're going to go into some questions, and please continue to ask questions in the channel. So the first question is from John Cram 411, and it's, you have 600,000 devices sitting around. Are you dumping these, or is this a software issue? Which is a great question. So if you'd asked us a year ago, we would have told you that if there was a delay, it would have been because of the hardware. We had 12 people in the company. We didn't know anything about building hardware, but today the hardware is actually very mature, very stable. We have 600,000 devices. Ship the hardware today. So it really is a software issue, and that's what we're focusing on. And it's not one particular issue with the software. It's a desire to make everything better across the board and to really focus on testing, focus on polishing, because we really believe that we have one opportunity to launch, and we have one opportunity to try to prove to the world that this type of control with the accuracy that Leap has is a better way of interacting with computers. And in order to do that, we just need to make sure that every advantage that we can muster to make that argument to the world, we take advantage of. And in this case, that means a little bit of delay. It means a little bit of extra time and energy spent on polish. And we definitely apologize for the fact that to some members of the community, that means that this thing that you've wanted for a really long time is going to take longer to appear.
Next question is from Retour. How about giving people an option? Magic equal wait until July, non-magic equal send it sooner. So I think we're going to. I think early on it makes most sense to test internally and test with the developers who are going to be making taking advantage of a lot of these features, a lot of these ecosystems that we're going to be pushing out. And towards the end, I think we'll be evaluating sort of what's the best way to bring more people in. But I think we'll have a better idea of the right thing to do when that time comes.
Yeah, I think we don't want to charge people $80 for something that we don't love, and our standard is magic, and unfortunately, magic means getting rid of all of the little tiny things that remind people that they're interacting with the computer. The reason that we built this technology, the reason that David spent 4 or 5 years of his life working on this, is because he wants people to be able to just interact with the computer and forget that there's this thing between them and whatever they're working on, whatever they're building or creating, and that goal is really important. And in this case, it means making a difficult decision that we definitely didn't take lightly, to have extra polish and iron out all of the things through additional testing, and that remind people that there's still a computer here, and that's why we're pushing for magic. But I definitely understand that the delay is frustrating. The next question is from Monleap, and it's, so how do I become a beta tester? So we don't want to charge people to beta test the device or the product. So there are the 10,000 devices that are out there today, and those devices are with developers, and right now they are beta testing and developing the SDK, but not the product. So what they have today doesn't have any OS interaction, it doesn't have browsing interaction. We're going to, at the end of the month, give them access to the final product and use that to get great feedback. We're also going to reach out to members of the Leap community at large and pre-order customers and invite them into the beta program. But the main focus there is going to be picking people from a diverse set of backgrounds. We want people with different types of computers, people from different backgrounds, and ultimately, we would love to say anyone who wants to be in the beta test can just pay us and we'll send them the device, but we want this to be a product, we want the first experience to be magical, and I think at this point we're so close. July seems like a really long time away, but we're really close. That's going to be the date, and the wait will be worth it.
The next question is how much does from Xantos? How much does HP or ASUS affect this decision? The answer is not at all. If they're getting peripherals, they're getting peripherals at best a similar time as Best Buy. So they're waiting as much as you guys.
Yeah, there are two elements to say the HP partnership. One is embedding in computers, and that's totally unaffected. It was never going to happen during this time frame. And then for ASUS and HP, they're bundling Leaps with those systems. Again, the timing for that is way after we ship to pre-order customers. So our top priority is getting units to you guys that have pre-ordered as quickly as possible, and we want to get them to you well in advance of when we give them to everyone else. It's incredibly important. So the question from Rook is, how will you address market traction loss caused by this delay? Connect 2 and others are coming soon. I think the reality is we think the best approach to making sure that a Leap becomes as successful a platform as it can be is to make the initial launch as successful as possible. So ultimately, we're trying to change the way people interact with computers, and in order to do that, we need to do two things. We need to convince people that interacting with a computer this way using Leap lets them do things they couldn't do before, makes the experience better, and we have to empower developers to build amazing things that wouldn't have been possible before. And I think on both of those counts, in this case, the delay is the right choice. That extra polish is key to regular people who may or may not be that technical, may or may not be early adopters, picking up a Leap and saying this is an amazing experience. And on the developer side, those people who go into a Best Buy and pick up a Leap, having a great experience is key to there being a big market of people that can use the amazing things those developers build. So the delay was a really difficult decision, but the extra polish is the right choice, I think, for the success of the platform. And from a competitive standpoint, we are just going to focus on building the best product we can, and we're going to focus on making the technology and the product better every day. And we have a different focus than most of the companies in the space. We are laser focused on letting people, when they're near their computer, interact with it with 10 fingers and nuanced movements in better in different ways. So that focus is going to continue, and I think that it'll be reflected in the final product.
From multiple people. You've already changed your dates before. How do you know you won't delay again? So I think in the past, we've only given one specific date in the past, and this is the only time we will move that from one specific date to another specific date. Before that, there was sometimes miscommunication as to when we were actually going to launch the product. So some earlier dates were reported than were true. But it is true that that we originally wanted to push things earlier, but making things is hard, making products are hard, making software is hard, doing what we're doing is difficult, and all those things together mean that sometimes things happen later than we would like them to.
Yeah, we've made a lot of mistakes, and we've learned a lot over the past year. When we announced the product in last May, we were 12 people. We had an idea as to what we would need to do to turn this into reality, and we had great core technology, but we have done so much since then. We've grown the company to 80 people. We've built an app store. We've made significant improvements to the technology. We've built hardware, and we've made it really small. But what's taken longer than we expected was putting all of those pieces together and making them this beautiful, polished thing. And obviously, I think one thing that we definitely haven't always done the best job with is communicating the progress and the changes and the challenges and the victories to the community. And that's something that definitely needs to change and will change today. In every day seems like a million miles an hour, and there are always hundreds or thousands of things happening, but the reality is it's incredibly important for us that everyone knows the status of the product and the project every day, every week, and that we interact with you guys through chats like this, through the forums, and through email. We just need to open up as many channels and be as transparent so that there aren't any surprises, because the reality is we're trying to do something that's really complicated that wasn't necessarily that well defined from the start. There have been a lot of victories, some setbacks. I think we're going to have an amazing product in July, but the commitment beyond that is just to do a better job communicating with you and making you a part of the process. So from Fred Clown, I'm still wanting to see an official video showing off Windows 8 support. That's a great question and a great point. So we've been reluctant to show video of the official OS support because we didn't want to be in a position where we couldn't tweak things and couldn't change things as we finalized and polished the user experience. We didn't want to be in a situation where instead of moving your hand to the left, we make it so you move your hand up to do something, and then there's confusion as to how the product performs once it gets to consumers. And there's been a lot of iteration, a lot of tweaking. I think we are at the point where we will be able to release a video showing a detailed walkthrough of OS interaction on Windows 8, on Windows 7, on OS 10 in the next few weeks. And the goal is definitely to, when we start the beta, have the full OS interaction out to the thousands of beta testers, and you'll see, I'm sure, lots of videos and lots of comments about that experience, and then we'll continue to tweak it based on the feedback that we get from them.
The Nick D and Flared One, why won't you let developers purchase a device now and get access to the SDK? We're definitely going to be sending out more developer units. We'd rather send out free developer units, but we're trying to figure out, really, we're always asking ourselves what is the best thing to do. What is the best way to get more people on the platform? What is the best way to expand the number of people developing? I think the more important step that will be coming soon will be opening the developer portal to just everyone in general, and that should be happening pretty soon. We're trying to add in a few more things before we do that, so that people can also work on software without actually having a physical device. And I think that's really the bigger milestone in a lot of ways.
Yeah, when we open the developer portal, anyone will be able to see the SDK documentation. They'll be able to see things that developers are creating, download the official Leap examples, and I think that'll be a big step forward. I think at this point it just doesn't make sense to switch to sending out developer units on a paid basis. Basically, that might have been the right thing to do 6 months or a year ago. I think for us right now, we're just, in our eyes, we're really close to shipping the product, and we just want to focus on doing that as best as we can, and getting units to consumers and developers who we haven't been able to give free units as part of the beta program to come July. But to David's point, we are going to continue to engage with people, and as we see people that are really passionate and excited about developing things for Leap, there are definitely still opportunities to become a part of the beta program and a part of the developer program. From Stevenson's, but even a long beta test won't bring you 100% product. Just release it for Kickstarter and skip the stores and the public. It's a good question. So one of the reasons we actually didn't do a Kickstarter, one of the reasons that we took pre-orders and didn't charge anyone's credit card was so that we would feel comfortable waiting to ship the product until we were totally proud of it and it was totally polished. So doing a Kickstarter would have given us a lot of money, and without any of the downsides of raising venture money, the dilution, the loss of control. But we are 100% focused on building the best products that we can. And in this case, building the best products means waiting. It means waiting even when it's really hard and when everyone says it's ready, ship it. And the reality is, at March at South by Southwest, we had 6,000 people come to the experience, and they used it, and a lot of them said, this feels ready, why don't you ship it? But we have really high standards, and we have a different opinion of what being ready and finished means, and I know that that's frustrating, and I apologize. But in this case, I do think that we only have one chance to make our case to the public as to why this is the next way that people will interact with their computers, and we want to make sure that we make the most of that one opportunity that we have to launch. We want to make sure that when we ship the products, the media and consumers of all sorts are blown away. And in this case, that means a delay, it means a little bit of polish, and I recognize the frustration, and I apologize.
From you are my computer. What will happen next year after you go into HP? Will you go into mobile next? Well, the version of the device that goes into the HP one is pretty small. It can probably go into a lot of different things. I think we're really interested in pushing it out into really all corners of technology. Even places where, in devices that maybe people haven't seen before, things that didn't make sense for, like, how do I say, a lot of new types of devices that, for example, tablets didn't make sense before touch, and there are many new types of things that maybe didn't make sense before our type of technology. And those are areas that we're excited in as well.
Yeah, so mobile is definitely an important part of the roadmap, but there's also, we're really excited about opportunities to use Leap in form factors that don't exist today, or aren't, at least can't be controlled independently today, like head-mounted displays and things like that. So I think going forward, it's about what are the existing form factors that we can integrate into to make great products, and what are the new form factors we can integrate into to make great products. So from Jonas Riegel, do you have a date for releasing the beta test for developers? More details, please. So right now, we want to start the beta test by the first week of June. And at that point, we want to have something resembling a feature-complete product so that we can really just have the entire team here focused on testing, iteration, polishing, and communicating. And at that point, all of the developers will have access to the beta at the same time. So for anyone that has a developer unit today, has access to the developer portal today, we will start to share a lot more information over the coming weeks. But the general strategy is to basically push out an update that turns what today is the SDK beta into a full product beta.
Next slide. Can you please allow access to cloud points in SDK from Hung516? So I think sometimes people have a misperception as to really how things work in our hardware. It's very different from other things like the Kinect, in normal device operation, we have very different priorities than most other technologies. Our priority is precision, small movements, very low latency, very low CPU usage. So in order to do that, we'll often be making sacrifices that make what the device is doing completely non-applicable to what I think you're getting at, which is 3D scanning. Now what we're working on are sort of alternative device modes that will let you use it for those sorts of purposes, but that's not what it was originally built for. And it will be, it's our goal to let it be able to do those things, and the hardware is able to do many things. But right now, our priority is, of course, on human-computer interaction, which we think is the sort of really the missing component of technology. That's our core passion.
Yeah, we really believe in trying to squeeze every ounce of optimization and performance we can out of the devices for the purpose that they were built. So in this case, the Leap today is intended to be a great human-computer interface, and we have made thousands of little optimizations along the way to make it better at that, but in the process, we've sacrificed things that might be useful for, say, 3D scanning objects, and those are intentional decisions, but they don't mean that we don't think that 3D scanning is an exciting and compelling use case, and there will be other things that we build as a company in the future and other devices that maybe we'll be able to do both, or maybe there will be two different devices, one that is fully optimized for 3D scanning and one that continues to be optimized and tweaked to be as great as it can be at tracking hands and fingers. And if we haven't done a good job communicating that the device isn't about 3D scanning and isn't going to be able to 3D scan, that's unfortunate, and it's a mistake on our part, but that's something that we've had to sacrifice. And the good news is that those sacrifices have made the main device really, we think, really exceptional at tracking hands and fingers. So from Stevenson's, would it be better to order from Amazon UK rather than Leap directly? I mean, ultimately, we want people to order from wherever they feel most comfortable and convenient. So the upside is you probably already have your credit card information on file with Amazon, and they will probably be able to ship it to you in a way that is cheaper than we can. But the downside is they will be, like Best Buy, they will be shipping after we ship to the pre-order customers. So you'll get your device a little bit later. So ultimately, everyone should weigh against those two factors. But at the end of the day, we want to provide as many options to people as possible, and let you guys choose. There are pros and cons to both.
From Microspark, as a customer, not a developer, how can I be part of the beta testing? You said a small number of people would be able to. I think we will either be picking sort of automatically from the main pre-order set in a sort of non-biased way, or if we decide that we need something that's more specific, we may be opening up some kind of like special place where people can kind of opt in to potentially do such a thing. At the moment, the final decision isn't made there yet, but as I said, for the public type beta testing, that will become more clear after the beta test for developers is finished.
From Schwab James, how many apps do you predict will be available at the time of the new launch date? Which is this is not the reason that we delayed, but it's hopefully a side benefit of delaying. I think there will be more apps available. If you'd asked me this question a month ago, I probably would have said 60 to 70, maybe 100. Now I think the answer will probably be 150, 200, maybe more. Obviously, and I think also this will give developers more time to polish their apps and make them even better and more consistent. Part of it is developers learning, and part of it is the platform getting better. The developers have given us amazing feedback about where the SDK is good, where it's weak, and we've pushed dozens of updates since we started the developer SDK beta test 6 months ago that have significantly improved the performance of the platform and the SDK. So we're seeing developers start to implement the changes based on those things that make everything more stable, better experience, and those improvements to the SDK will continue, and that polish into the applications will continue, I think, as well.
From Raider XX, are you planning on building a Bluetooth device at a later date or other versions? We are working on wireless version. It's a pretty big challenge, but we're pretty optimistic about it. Likewise, we are also building, of course, other versions. I'm not sure if I can go into more detail than that, but we're pretty excited about that as well. From Darren Karp, will it work with multiple monitors set up? There will be many different ways to make it work with multiple monitors. Because no one has done anything like this before, we're always asking ourselves, what is the best way to work in that type of setup? Is it, say, 1 leap per monitor? Is it 1 leap mapped across many monitors, 1 leap across 2, 1 leap across 3, what about 6? We're trying to also make a system that is flexible enough to give people access to many of those different types of options. I think what we'll probably find is that early on we'll be mostly focusing on 1 screen, but as quickly as possible, because really everybody at our office has multiple screens, we're trying to give ourselves nice multiple screen options as well. And so that's really important to us too, as sort of multiple screen power users. Yeah, because that's all of our computers here really.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think David has like 5 screens. Everyone here has at least 3 screens. We really want to support multiple monitors. It's one of those. It's probably not going to be supported, at least officially, although developers will probably be able to support it independently. But officially, it's probably not a version 1 feature, but it's something that we want to get in as quickly after that as possible. So the question from multiple people, how are you going to reward me as an early pre-order customer? And this is it's a great question, and I think that we want to do this in a few ways. One is that for people that ordered, the vast majority of pre-order customers ordered before the price change. So for most people, they're getting it at a $10 discount to what people will be able to buy it for in Best Buy, in Amazon. The biggest advantage is just getting it earlier. We are totally committed to getting the device to pre-order customers well before it's in Best Buy and Amazon, and we want to make the distance even longer this time around than the initial announcement if we can, and I think we will be able to do that. So we definitely think that people that have pre-ordered are an incredibly important part of the community. We're going to do our best to communicate with you and make you feel like the important part of the process that you are. And we're going to make sure you get your device early. And of course, we're never going to charge anyone's credit card until we ship the device. And if you do decide to cancel, you're welcome to do that at any time at leapmotion.com. And there are other options like Best Buy and Amazon. So at the end of the day, we just want you to have the best experience that you can. We're definitely interested in feedback from pre-order customers as to how we can make that experience as good as possible. But right now, the core features are the price advantage, getting it early, and then just constant access and a big part of the process.
From multiple people, is the delay coming from pressure from HP or other partners? No, the delay is completely unrelated to anything else out there. This is an internal decision that was made as we were getting towards the ship date, realizing that although we would have everything together, that we wouldn't really have any time to test or to fix, and we don't really want to do a release where we push it out to people, and 20% of people have a hard time getting it working on their USB with their USB hardware, or if we really don't want to have one of those releases where people have to wait a month to actually use it, because we're trying to follow up and fix things with subsequent patches. So sometimes sometimes it takes a little bit of time to QA something after you finish putting it together, and that's what this is really about.
So I think we're only going to take a few more questions. This is a question from multiple people. It's, why did you wait so long to tell us about the delay? And in this case, actually, it wasn't so much a matter of waiting to tell people about the delay. We made the announcement basically the day or the day after we made the decision internally. And in this case, it was a really hard decision for us because there was a really high likelihood that if we just went heads down, we could get the product out, and it would be a good product. But we realized that because we were a little bit late, that we wouldn't have time for a real beta test. And given that this is the first product we're launching, and given that this is a type of interaction that hasn't been tried before, and that we want Leap to work for 90-year-old grandmothers and 5-year-olds and early adopters and Best Buy customers, it needs that proper beta test. So we had a really difficult internal discussion. We really didn't want to delay, but given that it came down to a choice between skipping the testing that we'd originally planned for or shipping, we just had to make that difficult decision. And as soon as we made the decision, we posted and communicated to the delay to you guys.
So how does this impact the big deals with Best Buy and HP from multiple people? HP is after this, so they are unaffected. Best Buy gets the devices a bit later, but everyone's still really excited because what we're doing is still really important and interesting and hard and a major step forward in technology.
Yeah, none of those deals are affected other than the timing shifting back. So you still have the option of going to a Best Buy store and buying the device. It just will be available later than if you pre-order it through the site. But those partnerships are still in place. The device is still going to be in the same number of stores it would have been. And the same thing's true on the HP side as well. Great. Thanks, guys. If you have more questions, you can email support@leapmotion.com or post on the marketing forum. Thanks.
See you.